What's the smallest passenger train service in Metro Vancouver? Via Rail's The Canadian will take you across 4,500 kilometers in 3 time zones with stops in places like Viking, Elma, and McKees Camp before arriving 4 leisurely days later in Toronto. For a shorter trip, Rocky Mountaineer has several routes in the 1,000-kilometer range that focus on the spectacular mountain scenery of Western Canada. Even closer to home, the West Coast Express brings commuters downtown efficiently in the morning and takes them back home promptly in the evening. But there's another option that's even shorter than that. This is the Burnaby Central Railway, built and operated by the British Columbia Society of Model Engineers. They've been around a long time.
It's 96 or 97 years, the society. We've been told it's the oldest continually operating society in British Columbia.
Having outgrown their previous site, the club entered into an agreement in 1991 with the city of Burnaby to occupy an underutilized corner of Confederation Park. The land was previously a city works yard and first needed to be shaped into something more suitable for a small railway.
This property, when we originally came in here, was flat. There were no hills like this that you see behind me. There was no trees. These trees are all 30 years old or younger. This fill all came in from when they dug the Cassiar Tunnel. A lot of it is clay out of the river, so it's pretty hard to dig in, and when it gets wet, it turns to a soupy, muddy mess.
Construction of the railway followed swiftly, allowing it to open to the public in 1993. Improvements have continued steadily since then. The current layout has over 3 kilometers of track, complete with mysterious tunnels and lofty bridges. Last year, they carried 100,000 passengers. Trips begin and end at Rainbow Creek Station. The traditionally designed station is named after the creek that flows through the site. The station area also has a well-stocked concession stand and a generous seating area for birthday parties. So far, the club has hosted over 6,000 parties. Off the main line are the storage and maintenance facilities, located in 2 long buildings. The car barn stores trains on 2 levels. The lower level is for long trains owned by the club, and the upper level is for private trains owned by individual club members. And the shop is where the serious maintenance work is done. Both buildings are accessed by a traditional railway turntable. Well, not entirely traditional. In addition to rotating, this one moves up and down. It had a previous life as a garage hoist. Model trains come in different scales, and the club has a few. The most common scale in the world for model railways is 1 to 87. That's 87 times smaller than trains you see in the wild. At Burnaby Central, they start about twice that size, 1 to 45. These colorful trains are popular with younger kids. The railway also has slightly larger trains that are 1 to 32. Finally, the popular ride-on trains are 4 times bigger than that, 1 to 8. It takes a lot of people to run a railway.
Everybody's volunteers, so this is purely a volunteer organization. We have nobody on our payroll here. Everybody just likes to do stuff. We've got people out in the grounds taking care of the plants and the greenery and the trees that just like to do gardening. We've got the shop folks that like to work on equipment. There's folks like myself that like to do outdoor work and heavier duty work, so we're working on the track. Concession stand, so if you come out, you can buy Smokies or get popcorn or cotton candy. So we've got people taking care of that who are food safe certified. We've got groups that maintain the buildings and keep them painted and looking pretty, and so it's a big operation. There's a lot of different facets to it. So whatever your trade or talent, I'm sure there's something for you to do here.
I'm not a trained machinist, but I had a love of it when I was younger in my teenage years, and never pursued it as a profession, but it's grown into a serious hobby. Very serious hobby.
The locomotives are hand-built, sometimes dating from the actual age of steam.
Yeah. This one was built in 1936.
The modern-looking ones mostly run on batteries, but most of the ones that look like steam engines really are. The fuel is usually propane, hidden in a boxcar. In the locomotive firebox, the flame heats water to steam. The steam is sent to the cylinders, where it drives various interconnected rods that turn the large wheels. Regular maintenance takes place throughout the year.
They require a lot of daily maintenance. I say for every hour of running, it's an hour and a half to 2 hours of maintenance. And if the engines break on a Saturday night, yeah, for sure, or Saturday afternoon, for sure, I'm working on them to get them running for Sunday if I can.
The railway is open every weekend from Easter to Thanksgiving. After that, there's time for larger maintenance projects, like replacing leaking parts or changing the bearings. This is also the time to test the pressurized components of each steam locomotive. First, it's pressurized with water at 1.5 times normal pressure to make sure nothing leaks. Then they light the boiler to do a steam test. Every steam locomotive has important safety valves. The valves need to hold the steam inside when pressure is good, but let it out if the pressure gets too high. The test confirms that the safety valves open at the correct pressure. The off-season is also the time for major track maintenance projects. Like any railway, rails, ties, and ballast need to be replaced after years of use.
We're relaying a section of our mainline track. Some of the track has been in here since this property was started as a railroad a little over 30 years ago now. So we're laying track that's basically handmade. We cut all of the ties here ourselves. We've got people that take care of that. They're made out of recycled plastic wood. The rails themselves are simply flat steel, 1.25 inch flat steel, that we shape and bend as we need to go around the turns.
They use professional survey equipment, or at least something resembling professional survey equipment. And much of the work is done like a larger railway. Here, a work train is filling up with a heavy load of fresh ballast to haul to the worksite. It's an exciting day at Burnaby Central Railway. After a winter of maintenance, Good Friday is the first day of the new operating season. An eager lineup started forming an hour ahead of time, waiting impatiently for the gates to open. It's a major event. Politicians are here, as well as the fire department and TV news cameras. Finally, the first train of the year is ready to depart. It's an exciting day for another reason. One of the club members has finished building a beautiful scale model of one of the largest locomotives ever made, the Challenger. These were built for the Union Pacific Railroad starting in 1936 for heavy jobs. This is what's called an articulated locomotive. It's so long that the only way to get it around smaller corners is for the front wheels and rear wheels to pivot independently of each other. These rods drive the front wheels, while these drive the rear. It's essentially two locomotives that share a common boiler on top. This Challenger has been out for some test runs, but this is its first day in revenue service. It's time to steam up, couple the passenger cars, connect the brakes, and head over to the station for the first trip. At the Burnaby Central Railway, passengers are mostly human, but not necessarily. It's a popular family activity. If today is any indication, this will be another record-setting year for Metro Vancouver's smallest railway, the Burnaby Central Railway.